Hey everybody, what's going on? I just wanted to get on here and make a quick video. Hopefully it's kind of quick. I wasn't planning on doing 2 videos today, but it looks like I'm gonna be. I was reading this yesterday and I just wanted to share it, and it's kind of a devotional thought on Luke chapter 12 verses 13 through 21, and then when I was reading it, I kind of had some thoughts about this because it really kind of spoke to me a little bit, and some stuff that I've been thinking about and kind of dealing with lately. So I just wanted to read. I'm gonna read it for you real quick. So it's the story of the greedy farmer. Someone out of the crowd said, "Teacher, order my brother to give me a fair share of the family inheritance." He replied, "Mister, what makes you think it's any of my business to be a judge or mediator for you?" Speaking to the people, he went on, "Take care, protect yourself against the least bit of greed. Life is not defined by what you have, even when you have a lot." Then he told them this story. The farm of a certain rich man produced a terrific crop. He talked to himself, "What can I do? My barn isn't big enough for this harvest." Then he said, Here's what I'll do. I'll tear down my barns and build bigger ones. Then I'll gather in all my grain and goods, and I'll say to myself, 'Self, you've done well. You've got it made and can now retire. Take it easy and have the time of your life.' Just then God showed up and said, 'Fool, tonight you die, and your barn full of goods. Who gets it?' This is what happens when you fill your barn with self and not with God." And the devotional thought in this Bible on this passage is this. It's called remembering the wrong thing. Jesus called this man fool because he remembered the wrong thing. He remembered himself. There was never a soliloquy so full of the first person singular pronoun as this speech of the rich fool. Besides remembering the wrong thing, he forgot the essential things. He forgot his neighbors. If his barns were too small, there must have been others who would have been only too glad to share in his surplus. He forgot time. It never occurred to him that time could possibly have an end. There's an old story of 3 apprentice devils who were coming from hell to earth to serve their time. Before they left, they told Satan what they proposed to do on earth. One said, "I'll tell men there is no God." "That won't do," Satan said, "because they already know in their hearts that there is." "I will tell them," said the second, "that there is no hell." "That," said Satan, "is still more hopeless, for even in life they've experienced the remorse and the regret of hell." "I'll tell men," said the third, "that there is no hurry." "Go," said Satan, "tell them that, and you'll ruin them by the millions." And this part, that particular part of that is what really got me thinking, is kind of what inspired me to share this. I was reading this yesterday and I thought it was really good. And I think a lot of us act like there's no hurry. I know I do. Often I tend to procrastinate a lot. That's a problem of mine. I procrastinate a lot. And honestly, I also struggle with a lot of self-doubt, which I also think that a lot of people struggle with as well. And the combination of those 2 things often lead me to not do the things that I know that I should be doing, or things that I want to do. And I think I've got plenty of time to do this, so I put it off, or I talk myself out of it because I'm worried I won't do a good job, or whatever the case may be. And lately I've been thinking a lot about another parable where each of these servants was given a certain amount of money by their master, and two of the servants invested it and they got a good return, and the third one, he buried it because he knew that his master was a harsh man, and he didn't want to lose it and disappoint him and face punishment. And well, the master, when he came back, he got mad that this servant didn't do anything with it, and he took it from him and then divided it up and gave it to the other 2. And lately I've really kind of been feeling like that servant. I feel like I let laziness and self-doubt, cause me to bury my talent. And I don't really want to live like that anymore. like it says in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verses 6 through 7, for this is the reason I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands. For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. And there's probably a lot that can be said about these two verses, but the point I'm trying to make is that God has given each of us talents and gifts. And in my opinion, we should be using those to glorify God and to point people towards Him. And we shouldn't let fear and laziness stop us. Fear, because we see that God hasn't given us a spirit of fear. And like I talked about yesterday, God gives us the help that we need to overcome these things. And laziness, because like the story of the greedy farmer, we don't know how much time we have. So I just want to encourage everyone to use the time that you have wisely. And that's something that I'm going to be working on more myself. And so yeah, I just wanted to get on here and share that really quick because I was reading that yesterday. I thought it was really good and really kind of spoke to me. And hopefully it'll, people that come across this and watch this, hopefully it'll help you. I'm still going to get on later and record part 2 of the Gospel ABCs. So I will be doing that later, and I'll see you then.